all come to see me, ladies and gentlemen? Well, I should never have expected this. Oh, well, it's really extremely kind of you. I'm very glad to see you. You know, I'm very glad you've come.
This is Theater Talk. I'm Susan Haskins. We're going to celebrate one of the great playwrights of all time, George Bernard Shaw, with two of the great men of the theater today. And here to introduce them, he's great in his own strange way, Michael Riedel of the New York Post.
Shaw's great play Man and Superman was performed 100 years ago this year in New York for the first time, and it's a good excuse to talk about the great playwright, and I'm very pleased to have on the show with us tonight ERIC BENTLEY, the great critic, playwright, scholar, and the author of Bernard Shaw, a terrific book, biographical critical survey of Shaw's life and work, out from Applause Books. And we are also joined by, I think, the great Shavian actor in America of this generation, Philip Bosco, who has appeared in New York in Major Barbara, Miss Alliance, You Never Can Tell, St. Joan, The Devil's Disciple, and that great Shavian masterpiece, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, on Broadway. Welcome, Phil.
Thank you,
and ERIC.
Michael.
All right, ERIC, why read Shaw today?
Why not?
That would be the shaving answer. What does he still have to tell us about?
Well, why use the word still? It's you could have said these things 50 years. People were saying, "Why read Shaw?" in the time of Shaw, people were hating him and neglecting him. Mm-hmm. So I don't accept the question.
You don't accept the question.
He's a great author that not everybody likes. That's, and fashion, you know, it'd come in a little more. Like, in the theater, go out a little more. So I think he's in the same position now that he was 50 years ago.
Really?
Or even 100.
So he was never accepted. I mean, one thinks of him now as being, you know, a great celebrity of his day and a celebrated man of the day, but that was never really the case. He was neglected by many people.
Well, he was a revolutionary after all. He, in what was becoming the Cold War, he was on the Russian side, not the American side in such things, which was a problem here. You know, he lectured here in New York, I mean by here, at, in the Metropolitan Opera House, 1931, the very midst of the financial crisis of the world. His lecture in its British version was entitled "The Political Madhouse in America and Nearer Home." He didn't believe in the party system as both England and the United States have it. So he was highly unpopular, you could say. But nevertheless, he got invited to speak from the stage of the Metropolitan Opera House, which I don't think any other playwright has ever done.
Yeah.
So it's paradoxical. You know, when he was dying, the journalists were filling the village where he lived, which had no hotels, so they'd be kind of sleeping in the garden, etc. And he'd been told he only had hours to live. And they sent the Daily Mail, I think it was, offered him £1 million for a final statement.
£1 million?
Since he wasn't going to be there to
Collect it.
so he dictated to whoever was on hand, "It has been said." That's great, isn't it?
How could you not like
the vulgarity of offering a dying man £1 million?
That's showbiz.
British journalism takes the cake, doesn't it?
Phil, when did you first in your life come across the plays of Shaw? When, as a young man, reading them, seeing them?
No. As a matter of fact, my first Shaw play happened to be the play in which I got my equity card.
Really? Which was?
It was my first my first professional as a theater actor. I started as a radio actor when I was a kid. That's another story. But when I had come back from the army in 1953, I guess it was, after having been in Europe for a couple of years, I came back and went back to school at Catholic University, where I went to drama school. And that summer of my return, I was cast as the lawyer Boone, who was the son of the waiter, and You Never Can Tell. And I got my equity card and that wonderful part as well. And my love affair with Shaw started with that.
Really? It's said we don't see Shaw all that much in American stages because
tragic.
it's just too difficult for American actors to handle the